YouTube, check this out, man. I'm gonna turn my client right here to the side, and you can see the disconnection that's right now sitting on his head. He actually ended up having his wife cut his hair, just an emergency situation, but he came right back to the shop so Tito can bring him back, man. So I'm gonna show you guys and walk y'all real clean, real easy through the steps that I would take to attack this. I'm gonna give you guys a solid plan that's gonna help you enter this haircut with confidence. Now you can already see here where the hair is sprouting out from, right? That little light spot that we're looking at, that is the beginning of his swirl, the cowlick, the crown. So we're gonna split the hair according to that. I'm always gonna complement the natural growth pattern. So let's start with that, man. I'm gonna start from this crown and let's separate the top from the sides. Now, all of the tools that we're gonna be using are gonna be tagged in the tagged products below. So if any of you guys wanna use the combs, the clippers, the shears that we're gonna be using in today's video, I'm gonna take the time and organize that list real clean for you guys. So don't forget to check that out. Let's move on with this parting and sectioning of this hair. So now that we have everything sectioned and placed where we need to, I'm gonna determine at what point do I wanna cut this hair, So I'm gonna go ahead and cut right along the parietal ridge. Normally, I like to give him a lower fade and cut a little bit below the parietal ridge. But in this case, he had the at-home haircut, so we had a little bit of damage control. So we're gonna give him more of a straight medium fade here on this haircut. But I'm pretty much going to be doing my best. You can see these points where the long hair completely overlaps the side hair. So we're going to bring everything back into control. I'm going to get everything back into shape. And then this is going to just establish the side perimeters, and then at that point now we can start putting in some fade work, some fade guidelines. So we'll get into that shortly. But check this out here. You can see the little short points and the long hairs that are hanging overneath is what we're going to be trimming. So now we're gonna come back to that point that we started separating the hair with. You remember that crown, that light spot we were looking at? Now we're gonna connect that spot in the very back of his head, right? Because we always comb and part according to the growth patterns, and we're gonna work our way now towards the front. I wanna split this hair down the middle. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a perfectly even split, because no head is perfectly round at the same time. So we're gonna connect that crown in the back to his natural split up in the front, and we're gonna trim accordingly. So here we can see I'm gonna be pulling the hair back down to the point that I set my initial foundation in, right? Does this make sense now? The way that I set the foundation originally, just made sure that the sides were ready to go. And now this is how I can trim the top according to the foundation that we set in. So we can make sure that we're killing all the unnecessary hangover hairs. It's not like he wants any kind of undercut or anything like that. But yeah, we're really just connecting the dots, split that thing down the middle, comb it all down, connect the perimeter, and I'll show you guys next, as soon as we're done trimming the perimeter of the whole head, I'm gonna show you guys how we can connect and why it doesn't matter that we have this crazy looking uneven part going right down the middle. You're probably looking at this thinking I'm crazy, but the next step, stay tuned, because it's gonna show you real quick and easy how we can connect that and why it doesn't necessarily matter that we don't have a perfectly even split going down the middle. Stay tuned. Now look here, we're gonna take a piece from the left and we're gonna take a piece from the right. And when I bring it straight up, I can connect short point on the left, short point on the right, bam, cut straight across. And I'm gonna do this picking up a few rows of hairs over and over again as I work my way now towards the back. Short point on the left, short point on the right, slice that thing right down the middle. I like using a nice long pair of shears for this too, man, because I can get most of the hair done in pretty much one snip. I'm gonna have a long pair of shears tagged in the tag products below. Should be in the bottom left corner. Y'all should see a little notification there. But yeah, man, check that out. Look at that. It's so easy to do this. I keep the hair, split according to the growth patterns. Nobody has a perfectly round head. Nobody has a perfectly even growth pattern. Some of us even have 2-3 crowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a simple way though. You connect the short points on the left, connect the short points on the right. This is what squares everything up. It's just a nice, solid, easy to follow plan. Every single haircut, if it's scissors on top, this is the kind of system that I follow, and it's influenced by the Josh OP DFS formula. I took the course, I worked it into pretty much the best way that I was able to understand it, kind of made it my own, and I would encourage all of you to do the same. Josh OP DFS class was fire. It was life-changing. It gives you a plan on how to cut hair every single time. So this is one of the new releases that Zoom 45 came out with, is our sea salt spray. Now, if none of you guys have used this before, I'm a big fan of going to the beach and after you're done swimming and your hair dries up, you literally have salt from the sea in your head, right? And it almost like thickens up your hair. It makes it feel a little stiffer, almost as if you've used texture powder. It makes it so much easier to style, and now we have a product that puts that into your hair. You know what I mean? So it's so cool. You can have that the beach curls feeling, just at the spray of a bottle, man. It's so cool. So it's a brand new product that just came out for Zoom 45, and if it's available, I'm gonna have it tagged in the tagged products. But if not, stay tuned on Zoom45. Barbers, are you sick and tired of dimming your phone screen every time you pull up your bank account because of the shame of how low the balance is? With the Six Figure Barber Mentorship, we help you find and fix the weak points between our easy to follow modules and our over 20 live stream calls per month from Chris Basio and his coaching team. We're gonna help you build your clientele to beyond 6 figures and scale so you can start to buy your time back. And the best thing about this, you're gonna see results month 1 with our 30-day challenge. There's no better way to motivate you than to get you quick wins. The link is gonna be in the description. I'll see you guys soon. I just saw in Basio's last vlog, if you guys saw that, the shipment came in and it looks like we're gonna have fully stocked products pretty soon. So that's pretty exciting, man. I'm a huge fan of going to the beach because of how my hair feels after I'm done swimming. So now, hey, you got it in a bottle, and we brought that for you guys, man. I'm so excited to help to show you guys that. So look, getting into this fading, man, I started the clipper close as the bald line. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I believe if I start that bald line with the trimmer, it's such a harsh line because that's a machine that's meant to edge you up. The harder I put that line in now, the harder it's going to be to fade out at the end. So I figure let's just start this off with the clipper closed as a baseline, as a like as a bald line, and then above it, let's go ahead and open the clipper up and let's set that first fading panel. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna start fading our way down, and I'm gonna show you guys that it only takes 2 guards. Okay, I'm gonna use this number 2 guard, starting with the lever open, and then we'll follow up, of course, with the lever close. But I'm gonna do a straight up and down motion, starting with full pressure at the very bottom, rocking my way up and off the head, because this is gonna gradually bring the hair up into that first guideline that we set. So you see how this whole haircut now is gonna be centered around that perimeter that we set at the very beginning of the haircut? The way we trim the sides, the way we trim the top, how high we're gonna be fading. That's why it's so important to use the DFS formula to structure the haircuts how we did. It gives everything a place. It gives everything easy to follow steps. So straight up and off the head with this 2 open, and then we're gonna follow up with the 2 closed underneath that. And if you notice too, guys, you see how there's a comment at the very bottom left. Make sure that you stay subscribed and tune in whenever you guys see me live, man. Like, this haircut actually was recorded off of a live stream that I was doing, just trying to show you guys real time, real work in the barbershop, real customers coming in. You know, as long as my customers are comfortable being on camera, I'll turn on the camera. And you know, you guys can pretty much watch me cut hair live at any time. Watch these haircuts happen in real time. And then when I have time to catch up, then I can do a detailed voiceover explaining what's going on in these tutorials for you guys. So I hope you enjoy that. I hope you've been able to catch me on live stream so far. But if not, make sure you drop a subscription, man. The channel's been growing quite a bit, and I just want to continue giving you guys value. You can see here I closed this number 2 guard, and now we're gonna just go a little bit below where we did the 2 open, you know, and then you can see we're gonna continue fading down. So let's watch the rest of this come together and think mentally in your mind, what would you do as your next step after you do this 2 closed? Think about it. I'll catch in with you guys in just a second. So now I'm not even gonna use the 1.5. You may have been thinking I'm gonna pull the 1.5, but no, I'm actually gonna use the number 1 guard open. If you don't know already too, these guards, the green ones that I'm using, this is the one that came with the Tomb 45 FX clipper. This new collaboration they did with Babyliss, our first ever wireless charging clipper with that technology built in. It's super dope. And for a minute, the only way you could get these guards was by purchasing the clipper. But I'm gonna make sure that these are also tagged in the tagged products below, because I believe from a certain supplier you can get these guards separate now. So you can go ahead and use them with any of your machines. If it's like a Wall, if it's a Babyliss, a Stylecraft, a Gamma, anything that has that shaped blade, these guards are gonna fit it. So I'm super excited to show you guys, man. The way that they're designed, I wanted to show y'all in this video, I did not need to use the 1.5, and spoiler alert, I'm not gonna use the 1/2 either. So it's really exciting to see these things in action. They're super precise, slim, sharp teeth, so they slice through the hair. But yeah, man, it's a great tool to have, so check that out. If you like how this is coming out, you may want to check that out. And like I said, I'm gonna have that tagged as well. So now we are gonna go back to that baseline that we set. You already know that we set in the baseline with the clipper all the way closed. So we're gonna return to that with the clipper all the way closed. And just little by little, we're gonna work our way higher and higher into the rest of this fade. And yes, you can't be afraid to raise the fade. Like, a lot of barbers are afraid to, oh, I'm gonna raise the line too high, I'm gonna mess up my fade. But the secret is that yes, you're gonna raise the fade, but every time that you raise it another level, you're gonna be going another notch higher, right? So you're gonna go notch, raise it up, notch, raise it up again, notch, raise it up again. And eventually, by the time that you're all the way open, this is gonna all blend together right into, everything that we've been fading down so far. So let's watch this come together. Hopefully that gives you just a little bit of confidence, a little boost, in how you feel about raising the fade. But it's just something you have to get over, man. You can't be afraid to remove hair when you are when you're fading, man. You have to remove something if you're gonna have any hope of blending anything. So y'all could see now how easy peasy that came together, man. It's a easy to follow system, but now we're just gonna get into the lineup, you know? So let's go back to these trimmers now. This next step is gonna seem even easier, and you're gonna fully understand why we fade the way that we do. But first, let's go ahead and take care of the C-cup. We'll take care of this curve, the C-cup, the hook, the sideburn curve, whatever you wanna call it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and knock that out, and we're gonna square up his vertical bar. But what I really want you to pay attention to is, remember again, we started this fade here with the clipper all the way closed. We did not, on purpose, start it with the trimmer. So now we're gonna be coming under this with the trimmer. You can see we're gonna go up to and through all the bulk that we left at the very bottom. And you can see how effortlessly and seamlessly this is all gonna blend together. So that trimmer is just gonna be a little bit shorter than what the clipper closed was, right? If I would have punched that first line in, I would be having to go back and forth between the trimmer with the grain, the trimmer upside down, the clipper, the shaver, like going back and forth and back and forth. I looked out for myself to make this process as easy as physically possible. The best way for me to cut hair, man, is I want to be thinking as little as possible, enjoy conversation with my client, I don't want to stress myself out while I'm doing this kind of job. That's why I set up my fades the way that I do. And I hope that makes sense watching it come together over this video. So now y'all can see we're gonna take the blow dryer. This actually is the same blow dryer that came out at the same time as the Tomb 45 clipper and trimmer came out. It was part of that line, and we're gonna be using the diffuser attachment. Honestly, it gives me that same vibe like a Dyson does, like kind of where you hear the jet like just turning on and just going crazy. But it is at a fraction of the price that you can get a Dyson blow dryer from. So I'm going to be including that also in the tagged products, but this is just something that's going to help accentuate the curls. Remember, we already soaked his hair in sea salt spray, so now we can go ahead and just dry it a little bit. The diffuser is what's going to stop the hair from being blown away. It almost like filters the air, so that way the curls aren't being like blasted away, because if you blow too much air on curly hair, then it disrupts the pattern. But this just emits a slow amount of heat that just helps the curls kind of pop, keeps the hair in place. So I'm a really big fan of this, man. And you could see the cutting system, the plan that we went into this haircut with, the lineup plan, the plan that we set for the fading system. I mean, I really think everything came together really, really smooth. So now at this point we can appreciate the look of it. Everything flowed so well. The blend is blurry, the top is cut, it all blends so smoothly. And remember, this was a recovery cut. So subscribe for more tutorials like this, man. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget to catch me on the next live stream, man. I'll see you guys soon.